Dan, are we giving out handicap tickets now for parking illegally in handicap spots?
Will, yes.
I saw one in there, so I just was wondering. Thank you.
Delbert,
Yes.
I don't know, it's 3 or 4 pages down, next to the last one, there's a bond set at $467 on $72.50. Is that a misprint? I think it's the 4th page down, 4th page. And it's next to the bottom, next to the last one. It was failure to obey command of a police officer. Now, does that mean that they was issued, there's a warrant issued, and when they find him, when you find him, Danny, well then, he either pays this or go to jail?
Yes.
Is that what that means?
Yes.
But the bond was set for $467.
There may have been, I mean, it could have been one of those deals where you had multiple charges and made a plea agreement. And, you know, everyone made that plea agreement, they still have to pay under.
Okay, but in other words, he'll pay this $72.50 then for sure, if he gets found.
The bond was set at $462, he's got to pay it.
Oh, okay. So then that should cover everything then, right?
Sure.
That's what you're saying? Okay.
Is that the same person on the last two down there at the bottom? Is that the same offense?
It's two different offenses. It's failure to obey the command of an officer.
And the resisting arrest, that be the same person?
It's the same person.
Okay.
Yeah.
The bottom 3 are
Okay. Bottom 3, right, okay.
That probably is it for 467.
That's what it's worth, that doesn't add up to.
Same ticket.
Get kind of expensive in a hurry, couldn't it, Dan?
Good.
Oh, okay.
Okay, not any more questions, we'll move on. Next is bill number 2012-15, the water deposit fee. Rick, you don't want to correct us on this?
This is what you discussed at our last meeting, and the amount that you agreed on to change it to, just having the first reading of tonight.
Okay, we need a motion to proceed with the first reading on this bill.
Make that motion?
Second?
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
It's an ordinance amending section 1512 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Mountain Grove, Missouri, by repealing section 1512 and enacting in lieu thereof a new section 1512 as it relates to the water deposit fees.
Okay, we got a motion to accept the first reading.
I'll make the motion.
Second it?
Okay, any discussion on it before we vote? Okay, no discussion. Judy, how you vote?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, next is Bill 2012-16. What are expressions on this one, Rick?
That's the reconnect fee that we talked about, raising it to $25 on anytime water's shut off for non-payment of the bill. The reconnect fee would be $25.
Okay, we need a motion to proceed with the first reading on this bill.
I make that motion.
I'll second.
Second.
All in favor?
It's an ordinance amending section 1510 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Mount Grove, Missouri, by repealing section 1510 and enacting in lieu thereof a new section 1510 as it relates to the fees charged for reconnection of water service.
Okay, we need a motion to accept the first reading on this bill.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay, any last discussion? Not, Dan, how do you vote?
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, next on the agenda, curbing on McMillan Street and street sign. This is Ally Roberts. She's not here. Okay, on, she can come back next. Okay, parking on, discussion on 503 South Main, Mr. Richards.
And I passed out, and I think you've got one too, over it,
Okay.
little map. We have a couple little problems there in respects to, parking right there in front of, Melanie's Garden. When you come off of 95, there's cars standing right there, a lot of times they'll be almost right out to the edge of 95. But anyways, you try to make that left turn there to come off of South Main, you gotta do a jig-jog dodge, and if anybody's coming up South Main, you wind up pretty much over in their lane. And then, of course, if there's somebody sitting across, double park there on across each other, now you've really got a problem. So, I looked at it and thought about it, and I felt like, maybe we could make it one way from Clay Street going north up to 95. And of course, on that little map I handed out, I marked, that little strip there of East Harker to be one way going west. And the reason I did that was because of the church sign there. When you try to make a left turn, it's hard to see around or under, through that church sign, and I've come close myself being hit, getting out there too far and getting started in my turn. And then it's like, oh my, what am I gonna do now? So, I'm open for any suggestions on it, but this is my thoughts that, if we made those two little areas right there a one-way traffic, you eliminate the dangers of serious accidents. And you'd have the parking there, because you're gonna have an open center lane all the time. It may be a little bit of an inconvenience to some, but I think a little bit of an inconvenience outweighs the, factor of possible bad wreck, loss of life, stuff like that.
Can you sell stuff out of your home like that, really? I mean, is it zoned for it?
If you grow it there,
You can.
yeah.
Could you make her provide parking for her?
Yeah, home
Customers?
occupation like that is supposed to have off-street parking. This really didn't fall under home occupation, this fell under, being able to sell things that you grow on your property.
Mhm.
And, it's kind of a gray area, actually. Not that you couldn't require her to have off-street parking, but you certainly could, but under the selling of vegetables and things from your own property, there's no rules that apply to parking. And that's what, that is creating a problem. Vic's right, there was, you get one vehicle parked in the wrong place, right there. It's really blind, the whole intersection becomes blind. I was amazed, I had Danny look it up. We haven't had an accident there in a year and a half, in the last year and a half, but I don't know how. Because that's one of probably four worst intersections we have as far as sight. And that Harper Street there's actually an intersection of 3 streets in one. You can see that. It's really not a good situation right there.
I was told by a church member there at First Frugal Baptist that there was money in the budget to remove that sign, but it hasn't been done yet.
It's supposed to be removed. They're supposed to change it.
I was told, but I wasn't for sure.
That'll certainly be helpful.
Well, that would help with the site problem, but it's,
I don't have any idea what the holdup is on it over there, but It was
ain't
talked,
help,
wasn't it?
That won't help with the fact that people want to park it on North Main right there on the corner. Either way, if they're making a left, whether you can see down 95 or not, you still got that issue. And the reason I marked that little short piece of Hawker right there as going one way west was basically because of that church thing. And I guess the $1 million question is, well, if they're gonna move it, when is that gonna, take place? If that was the case, you really wouldn't have to make that little short section one way. But otherwise, it just made it a lot easier for everybody, and safer for everybody, is what I'm really looking at. It's a safety issue that's my main concern.
So you're talking about street that goes east from South 95, that's West Parker.
Yeah, that little strip right there is marked in orange, that little short strip, that's Hawker. That's actually East Hawker right there.
East Parker, okay.
And then it jogs over and goes on, winds all the way up over on Wall Street.
Yeah, good.
Okay, Vic, you're talking about Clay Street, making it a one-way.
No, leaving Clay alone.
Doing South Main.
Clay,
Okay.
two-way track. One, from where the orange starts,
So like
at
if
Clay,
you lived on that
that's
road,
the
you
only
would
thing I
have to
thought
go
about.
all the way back to
And
the.
that
on
one
South
little,
95.
little block there, I think it's just a block.
So there where Randy Delcor lives, he would have to come around and come up Clay Street.
He could, if he wanted, yeah,
And then she
or he
has
could
to
up,
bring it.
down to AM and
Okay.
up Wall, whatever way he wanted to go. Where he go, he'd actually come out of his house, where he go back north there on.
This is west of Hawker would be east.
That'd be best, swing from in the house, have some kind of
Huh?
parking, it's awesome.
Well, you could do that, you know, I just look at, I mean, when I start to look at the small business, the more expense,
Right,
you know, it's tough now.
right.
And so this would just about, and it kinda makes it easier on them in respect.
But you know, Vic, I think the only problem I'd have is like Sandy said, you take all the people coming in for the ball games that's out of town, unless we mark that good, we could have some problems. Got some guys going down.
Well, yeah, you're gonna have that, I realize that, but, I mean, that's kinda like over at the high school,
Yeah.
I see it all the time.
Yeah.
You know, the signs there, it's plain as day, and just didn't make enough show, they'll come around up, you know.
Danny, what do you think about this?
The initial confusion's gonna be rough. There's a lot of other people. It'll be a place we have to enforce a lot.
Don't you think just limiting the parking would
No parking
solve the
there.
problem instead of controlling the streets?
Yeah.
I have a problem turning the streets into one way.
I mean, there's obviously there's a problem there.
Yeah.
If you've been through there at all, there's people that just park right in sure they can on the street.
Does she not have any extra parking at all? I haven't.
She had a very short driveway.
Yeah.
She have to have license to sell over there?
Not your own produce.
Oh,
No, you pick all your tomatoes you want, put them right in the front yard.
You know,
I'll
church
start
sells
doing that
tax
then.
certificates.
give me my tomatoes though, will you?
Then after church sells tax certificates, you just.
'Cause I didn't raise any this year.
Oh,
I gave my last ones to Danny.
Okay, does anyone else have any suggestions on this?
I would just say that limiting her parking would probably be the only way. I mean, I don't know. I don't think we ought to, turning that into a one-way street, I think we ought to look at other avenues first and see if we could cut her parking off on that corner right there, that would eliminate a spot for cars to get through. And being as it's a three-way, if our church would get that stupid sign out of the way, it'd be better, but it's not a stupid sign.
Wait till
It just
I have
needs to be
another
moved.
business meeting. I'll fix you.
Hey, I'm a trustee.
So Vic, since you brought this up, do you wanna make a motion to do this?
Yeah, I'd
Drop
like-
an ordinance?
I'd like to make a motion that we'd actually make those two streets one way, at least at this time. We can always change it. I mean, that's the thing, that's what you can always do, you come back down the road and reverse that if you need to, if it becomes where it's not an issue anymore. But yeah, I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to make that one way from Clay Street north to 95.
Now you're talking from Clay Street, not from Klaus.
No, from Clay Street. From Clay Street intersection
Two
to
ninety-five.
95 intersection. And then make that west one way
I thought he meant.
on that short piece of, I think that's East Harker. And this classifies East Harker, over 295. And that would actually take care of any risk of an accident, or should.
So they'd have to cut through Clay Street, the traffic would?
If you wanna go back up to Melody's Garden, you're gonna have to come on down, make a loop, and go back up. And everybody park. Everybody parking going the same way.
Danny, do you feel this is really gonna cause more problem?
I mean, you want my honest
Yes,
opinion?
I really do.
I think if you guys are gonna vote to make it a one-way street, I do the whole street.
That's what I was thinking too.
Do the whole street, no.
Otherwise, you're gonna have so much confusion.
Do the whole street.
Well, we can do the whole street. I don't care. I'm just trying to make it where people on the south end of South Main could go either way right there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter to me whether you make it the whole street or a part of it.
If you do the whole street, the people lives, and like where Randy Delport does, he's gonna have to go all the way down AM and come back in.
Well, soon,
When they come home, yeah.
yeah, the
But to
people
come
that
home
live on
anyway,
South
we're gonna have to come
Main.
either on Clay or else AM.
This is gonna be confusing though, don't you think, for Mountain Grove?
Or on track.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like a stoplight, though. That was confusing for quite some time when they
Yeah.
first put that up. You know, I even run the silly thing, so I mean.
Okay, now Vic's got a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Any last discussion or questions? If not, all in favor of making, South Main one-way from Clay to 95?
What, are you going from Klaus?
To Clay.
His motion's from Clay to.
Well, my motion was from Clay up to 95. Danny recommended that maybe make the whole thing, but I was trying to avoid inconveniencing anybody from Clay south. You know, it kind of gives them a little bit of a breezeway right there.
Okay, would we need a stop sign there?
No, we just put in do not intersection,
One way.
one way.
But it'd make it easier to enforce to make the whole street all the way to Klaus.
It might, as far as law enforcement side goes. I don't know. I mean, not really, I mean, that's just kind of a toss-up on that right there.
Anyway, we've got a motion and a second for Clay Street, so we're gonna have to vote this. And then if it doesn't pass, we'll have to try something else. Okay. All in favor? Okay, all opposed? Okay. Now then, what other suggestions do we have that we might, putting a no parking sign back so many feet from 95, would that help any bit?
Well, it would help, I suppose. The only problem with that is, that there again, we're not gonna have officers there to be keeping an eye on it 24/7, you know, in that, speaking in that sense. How much would the folks obey that? It will open up that corner if they don't park right at the give 95 corner. I've had that happen. I mean, I'm running into that because, you know, I don't know, maybe you have, Dan, you know, and
Would we make it on both sides of the street or just one?
yeah, you need to really make it on both sides of the street, but no parking so from X point to the corner.
We have it on the other end, and put it on this end too.
Well, yeah, you know, I mean, that's just it, down on the other end, and yeah, I agree, but they still park there periodically, you know.
But the lady that owns the business, she would have to help us, she could help us a lot if she'd say, hey, you can't park there, you're gonna have to park down.
I mean, the only thing I see is you're relying upon the general public to respect the sign, you know. Same talk about going one way, you're relying upon the general public, but chances are there they would cut less than, you know, finally not everything in one way. I mean, if anything really that would do, in my opinion, there would be some help. Hopefully there would be less people parking past that, if it's a no parking signs, putting it right there from here to the corner, you know. But I do think that probably both sides of the street, because when you turn off 95, you just about need that whole little area right there to maneuver.
There's not enough room for two vehicles in some of that park.
You know,
Right.
Now, what does the sign say on South Main? Does it say no parking on the right-hand side of the road or left-hand side? Or
On the west side?
Clay,
No parking.
On the west side.
After 4 o'clock, no parking.
some Clay Street back?
Right, yeah.
see, like up on the center end, we don't just have to have just no parking period,
Yeah.
you know, no time limit. I mean,
Yeah, in order
everyone make it
to
24/7.
make that.
On both sides or one side?
I recommend doing that on both sides right there at that intersection, because when you get two cars sitting there, and you know, and even if you got one, and you got a car coming up north, going northbound right there, if he pulls up over the side of this other car, he's naturally gonna move over just a little bit, so he ain't gonna hit that car corner. And now here you come, and, you know, now you got a problem, now you got a tight squeeze between you and the curb, because you've already got 2 car lengths plus a little extra because of that car moved over, so now you're gonna either be bumping the curb or running up on the curb. You know, I'm just trying to go by width of a vehicle, what, they're about 6 foot wide, roughly.
So you're saying all the way back to Clay Street, Vic?
No, I
That'd be
wouldn't want
taking
to.
her, all of her parking.
No, I'm just saying back at least 1, maybe 1.5 car lengths.
No parking from here to curb, or here to intersection.
Right.
Now,
Yeah, okay.
now, then all you'd have to do is tell me how far you want that sign to be back.
Yeah, that's what I say, maybe 1.5 car lengths.
40,
You know, one, well, the car is 20 foot, I think, roughly long.
30, 40 feet.
About 30 foot at least, you know, but on both sides of the street. Because that gives you, as an individual in your car, making that turn, at least enough room to maneuver if there is somebody parked legally, or you can stop if there's a car coming up through there, to where you can't get, you know, on down the street. Gives you an option to have at least room to stop and let them go on up, you know, go on. You know, but, it's a tough call. I mean,
Yeah, it is, it is.
But I feel it at least 30 feet on the inside from there to the corner,
We think the 2 car lengths would be about 40 foot, maybe.
probably, yeah.
740, that we have.
I think a couple
Well, you
car
could do
lengths.
that, yeah, I mean, it's, you know, 40 foot would probably work pretty good. Don't you think, Dan? I mean, if you drive a
I don't
pickup.
know where her driveway is there.
Yeah, I don't know, see, that's just.
Well, it's down ways. It wouldn't affect her drive,
Okay.
but it would keep really everything basically from her drive north, it would keep the parking on.
And the parking on South 95, and the state would have to have that, right?
Right.
Because they do park there on the highway.
That's crazy. You really want tomatoes bad.
Or a palm tree?
I'm gonna say palm tree.
Get out of the car there.
Rick, we have to do this by ordinance, I guess.
Yes, sir.
What I'm thinking of, which is probably totally different from what everybody else is, that's like a scenario, a train holding up traffic when they turn loose going south on 95, and you got a lot of traffic coming north. Those headed south will stop and wait till they can see an opening and then out of this. It's dangerous.
It's
I
very
try to
dangerous.
avoid that corner.
I've had a few close calls.
Okay. The reason I vote for one way is to stop them from holding
Yeah, but
traffic.
it's like real, like you say, I mean, if it was a one way, which we've already voted on that, but if it was, it does eliminate that. Now they gotta keep moving, go on down the round, you know, that's true.
So if we made it a one-way street, the people on South Main could still go north, just get an inconvenience when they come.
They'd have to go to Clay Street.
Make a big circle to come back.
It's dangerous curve.
Well, the church gets a sign done, taken out of there, that'd be a big help too.
True job.
I don't think it's gonna be a long period before we move it. We're in that process.
Most boys got a full bit of ground.
Okay, does someone want to make a motion about putting no parking 40 feet back? Or,
Yeah, we've already tabled the other one, we voted the other one down, so.
We didn't vote the other one about from class though, down, but I don't know. Did we?
Rick?
That was just from Clay.
like, does someone want to make a motion to close it in class one way?
I'll make that motion.
Okay. We got a second?
Did you say you made that motion? Well, then I'll second it, because that's still the same term I want.
Okay,
Yeah, it's a bigger one.
any last discussion or questions before we vote?
That's not a right move.
I have a question.
Yeah, Jim.
Can we do this with her not knowing anything about this?
First Street,
Well, Jim, we can do,
Yeah.
you guys can do anything you want to do.
You mean in front of people's houses?
We own the street, so.
Well, yeah, I understand that.
That's public street.
We regulate parking all over town, so, you know.
But it just crossed my mind and wondered if she's supposed to know about this. If she doesn't know about it, well, she might raise a problem, mightn't she?
will.
Well, somebody needs to tell her then, that's what I'm saying.
Do we need to
Would you
table
wanna
it
go
then?
tell her? I wouldn't.
Put the
Do we
bottom
need,
line.
do we need to table this?
Well, we got a motion second on the floor, so I guess we're gonna have to vote on it, and
This is
if,
not-
We need to vote on the motion.
Yeah, motion.
But make sure you got all your discussion out before you do.
yeah. So, we're gonna make a motion from AM all the way to 95, one-way street. So any last discussion or questions? If not, all in favor? 4 and 4,
Well, you voted against it, you have a call for a vote against.
okay.
Oh,
All opposed?
Now it's 4-4.
That's what I saw.
He's gonna get it one way or the other.
You know, we've got a problem there, I see, but as far as making a one-way street, I think we're gonna have a lot of confusion, like Danny said, especially when you get all the people coming to the ballparks, and if they're expecting these guys not to come on down the street, but they'll come anyway, we're gonna have some accidents. So I'm gonna have to vote no, I guess. But we still need a solution.
I'll make a motion we say 40 feet back, no parking both sides of the street.
I'll second that.
Okay, any last discussion on this?
no.
If not, all in favor?
Well, there's one they all agree on, there you go.
Rick, get straight for it out there. Before they change their mind.
Well, you know, the problem's out there, that's nice.
Well, it's a start, it's a start.
That's right. It'll work.
I can see your problem, Nick, but
Yeah.
I can see some confusion.
Well, I can't do, I won't disagree with that.
I'm sure Danny won't mind patrolling by there in the afternoon.
I'm just saying, you know,
Maybe all this
And it's
discussion and
kind of
stuff,
seasonal, it's not.
we get the church meeting the same.
Yeah.
well, I didn't realize that he
We'll get after
had
Danny.
anything, now that I know that.
Yeah. We know who to talk to now, don't we?
There's the contact right there.
Yeah.
Okay, next is the cat leash law. Is Nancy here?
I don't think she's gonna get you.
Okay, so we'll just drop this, and if she wants back on, she can get back on.
Sure.
Next, we need to pay the bills, and I want to apologize. Dolores said that they forgot to put the bills in the,
In the packet.
so it will be there next time, it's just that. It's okay, we got a motion to pay the bills. Got a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the bills before we pay them?
I got a quick question, Gilbert.
Yes.
Rick, getting money at the golf course, is it not ever gonna be possible for us to get money at the golf course through debit? I mean, is that out?
Through using a debit card?
Yeah.
Well,
The way it used to be?
probably. 'cause-
Yeah, cash back.
It really, the way the auditor wanted it, she doesn't want any money going out.
Yeah.
So in other words, if they want, Smarty's asked me this before, somebody comes in, they want $10 worth of change.
Oh,
The
you
auditor
get cash
doesn't
back,
want
oh,
the
yeah.
cash back.
Yeah, we don't wanna get into cash back business. But as far as paying, I mean, we can have debit as far as paying the bills. That-
No, I know,
We have that now.
yeah, I know that, this is asking about the cash back part.
You really prefer not to get in the cash back situation. Be fully aware, you have every right
percentage.
Right.
Is it based off of the amount of what's run through the car? So therefore, if you're getting cash back,
It costs us.
it's costing us money.
The service charge.
It's unnecessary. Well, yeah, but if you charge the service charge, they'll make the debit a little bit more.
Yeah, that never ends.
It won't come out.
Rick, are there any way we could get a bank or something to put ATM machine out there? Or does it have to be a pretty thickly populated place to have ATM machine?
Shoot, I don't know. I've never had that question asked before. I don't know. I mean, they've got some in some strange places,
Yeah, I know convenience stores, some of the convenience stores use
you
that.
know, so maybe, I mean, it's worth asking.
They've got one out there at Walmart's on the,
You know,
by the gas station too.
yeah.
You better get them there.
I will ask about that, because that would resolve what the issue is that we need to get resolved.
Just a question.
Well, it's a legitimate, it's a good question. We just, when Marty was doing it, he could do it if he chose to, because it's his business. But ours, being taxpayer money, we can't pay a fee to give somebody some cash back.
Okay, any more questions on the bills?
I have a question about this casualty liability insurance on departments. Is that what it costs us for?
That's for our fire,
Okay.
automobile, all of our liability, you know, and all of our building, all of our vehicles. Yeah.
Okay, any more questions? If not, all in favor of paying the bills? Okay, we need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?